Yeah, seriously, who's running this fucking thing? Why wasn't I fucking on the official lineup? Seriously, heads are gonna roll. Yeah, why the fuck wasn't...
Step into the ring, it's Monday Night Fire. My rhymes burn hotter than a funeral pyre. I'm the heavyweight champ, you can call me sire. Reviewing raw like a southern rap messiah. Crossing over lines like I'm Stone Cold Steve Austin. Flipping opponents like I'm Randy Orton. Dirty South flow, my words they be caustic. Every verse I drop got them head nodding. Spit lyrical punches like a ruthless fighter. Got the crowd hype, I'm the crowd igniter. Breaking down the raw matches, no denier. Dirty style rap, I'm the Monday night supplier.
Welcome back, Window Lickers, and all the friends that have joined me throughout the adventures of Here on Monday Night Raw Review Preview Show. I welcome you back, and I'm glad you're here. Tonight's a great one. Tonight, we have a special guest, and tonight we're fresh off the heels of a King of the Ring crowning and a Queen of the Ring crowning. So all hail our King and Queen, Nia Jax for the Queen, and Gunther for our king. And thank you for joining in your house. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining Grun. Thank you for joining our guest. Thank you. Speaking of that, why don't I just bring him on here? This is my co-host. You know him, you love him. He is the Grunmeister. Grunmeister, how are you doing today, my friend?
Hey, what's up? I'm doing good. How about you, Joshua?
I'm doing great. We had a great pay-per-view we just came off of. Really fantastic work from WWE. And last night was we had a shock in the wrestling world with MJF coming back.
Yeah, we did.
That was a fun time. Fans, you might notice we're not on Twitch. They tend to ban me when we do things like that. So we just got a 48-hour ban over there. So you can still join us here. We're on X. We're doing those things. But Grun knew the whole time it was going to happen. He just he was enjoying the ride until we got. And they allowed us to go.
I mean, there are ways you can get around it, but yeah, like more often than not, you're gonna get it.
We definitely got it on that one, but nonetheless, it was a great pay-per-view. AEW really put on a spectacular last night. I would say maybe a tad too long, but other than that, it was a great performance by everybody. And then King of the Ring was spectacular. A lot of things happened, and we'll get into all that. But Grun, how was your weekend, man? You went on a little vacation, didn't you?
I did. Went down to the shore. It actually was not that great of a weekend. My car's battery died on the way down. I spent half of Saturday worrying about am I going to be able to get it fixed in time.
Oh,
What's up, Elks? He's one of my buddies from my community.
well, welcome, sir.
um got it fixed. Didn't cost me too much, but like it was just not fun.
No, that doesn't sound fun.
But I spent the rest of the weekend sleeping, the rest of Saturday and some of Sunday sleeping, then driving home.
I love sleep. Sleep is fun.
Yeah.
It is a great way to venture out. But guess what? We got a guest tonight.
We do.
And I think you know him. I think you
I
love
do.
him. I think we've been in his chat. So let me hit him with the stinger so we can bring him on officially. Everybody pay attention. He is the one, the only, the man who lives in the lands of the streamers. He's a dreamer. He used to be part of the Obama campaign. He was a guy.
Wait, what?
Well, no, he is the Lou. Lou, how are you doing, my friend?
What's going on, Batus? I gotta hit it one time. How you guys doing?
We're doing great, and it is fantastic to have you here with us. We got a lot of people in the chat now. We got Hypocrisy Jones hitting us up. Elks, he's hitting us up again.
It's me.
And then Jones he's excited for the Lou. So Lou, you are a fan favorite around these parts.
Well, I heard you were looking for a king, and I know you talk about Gunther, but I mean, who's better than Gunther than the Lou baby, right? I'm here.
Hey, I like it.
I don't think I'll survive the chops, but I'll try. I'll try.
Yeah, he's an aggressive chopper, and he really he brought the heat over this weekend. It was a fantastic time watching the King of the Ring. Lou, before we dive into it, for maybe new people who are exploring this show, let them know what you do and where they can find you real quick.
Well, I'm a variety streamer. I am found mostly on Twitch, twitch.tv/thelou. I'm not good at the poking thing like Jones is over on in your house, but it's right there. Follow me over there. We do a lot of variety things. I'm actually going to be live tonight, 9:00. We do a guest little action with a friend that comes on, picks the game. Joseph's been a part of that a couple times, and we've had a blast doing that. Tonight, I have my friend Misfit. We're going to be doing some FC24, some football. And we do a lot of that on Mondays. Wednesday, we have my alter ego, Dave Dingle, who is not going to be part of this show, guys. Don't worry.
No.
He's in the corner. He's in the corner. But we do a little Lou versus Dingle action on Wednesday nights. And then Fridays, we just have fun and get ready for the weekend. So a lot of variety, a lot of different games, just a lot of good laughs, a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's a fun community over there. To be a part of the buddies is a blessing and a fun. It's also a curse. It can be a big curse, you know. You always want to be involved. You always want to. But right now we're here for some Monday Night Raw review, and I'm looking forward to this because yes, we did, as I said, step off of just the King of the Ring, but there was some really good action towards the front of this right before leading up to the King of the Ring, as we have Tony Gonzalez jumping in saying, guys thought it was on the main list. Oh,
yeah, I think you accidentally pressed the space bar there.
Yeah. The main event of last night, it was actually pretty good. I liked it. I actually liked a lot of what Swerve said about Christian Cage and what he said after about his legacy and everything. And, you know, Swerve also did say that he is the champ, so it really doesn't matter what he thinks. But, you know, the match was pretty decent, really put together well. It really shows Christian Cage's endurance, I believe. You guys have any thoughts on that match if you've seen it?
Unfortunately, I missed it. I did not see it. But congratulations to Swerve for retaining.
I haven't seen it, but Cage, you know, for his age, still doing what he's doing at the level he's doing it is just
it's crazy. I mean, and shout out to Swerve. I love Swerve when he was in WWE. He's doing bigger things in AEW, obviously now being their world champion. And I mean, it's incredible to see Swerve doing what he's doing. And obviously you don't have to know the answer to the question because it's out there. Whose house?
Swerve's house. Yeah, you are 100% on that, and it really alluded to exactly what Swerve put out there after it. That the legacy of Christian Cage. I mean, Christian Cage was doing this stuff when Swerve was a kid, so it's like
that's insane.
Yeah, it really is, and I agree with you, Tony. Yeah, it was a great match. A real fun rewatch if you're inclined and can do that. But tonight we are going to start things off with Lou. Lou, we know you have a little subject you wanted to discuss with the Window Liquor fans, and why don't you let us know what you want to talk about and who's it about?
Well, I want to branch into this whole revenge tour that apparently Liv Morgan is on, and I would say so far she's been pretty successful at it. She has taken out a friend to a foe, Rhea Ripley, Mommy, and I think we're all angry at her for doing that.
Yeah,
but she put herself in a great spot. Her and Becky, they had a lot of words last week. King of the Ring match was great. It was a good match, and tonight it looks like we're going to get another round with you said a steel cage match.
That is the rumor I heard.
That's the rumor. So I mean. So we might be getting Liv versus Becky rematch again tonight. And I find it really interesting that Liv, she's doing what she said she's going to do. She took out Rhea. She took out Becky. There's a little assistance on the side there. But I wrote down here, I have a board back here. Dirty Dom isn't so dirty. And the reason I'm saying that is because I believe that Dirty Dom isn't playing the role to Liv that maybe some people think he is. I believe Dirty Dom is doing a watchful handover for when Mommy returns.
Okay.
That's what I think. Dirty Dom is looking after Liv Morgan, staying in her corner, helping her out, just so that way when Mommy returns, look who's lined up in her sights.
I like that thinking. Grun, hit him with your thoughts on that.
That is a really good plan. It's a swerve.
It's pretty good setup.
It's really good because Becky Lynch, it's gonna be a bigger challenge for Rhea, but Liv Morgan took out Rhea, and now Liv Morgan's champion. Going into SummerSlam, that's probably because Rhea's probably going to be cleared, hopefully, by SummerSlam.
Yeah.
So you have Rhea do that. Dom kind of pretends that he's with Liv, or at least helping Liv out. But now, Rhea has an easy prey, and Dom's not going to help her out. But the other part of this is, what if Dominic really was trying to help Becky? What if Dominic really was trying and he's probably going to get involved in the match tonight too, somehow, some way.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what if he really is trying to help get that title off of Liv, undo what he did? But Dominic is now going out on his own, doing his own things, making his own decisions, which I think is great. But he is forgetting that he's part of the Judgment Day. And at this point, the Judgment Day does have a pecking order. They do have a line of command. And Dominic, he is at the bottom with JD McDonough. They don't make commands. They don't make decisions. They go to Finn. They go to Damien, or they go to Rhea, and currently Rhea is not on TV right now. So Dom,
I mean, that's a fair point because Dom does look kind of confused.
Yeah,
in the moments like at King of the Ring, he kind of was like holding his head back. He kind of was like in the awe, not quite looking like he was happy for Liv. So I mean, that's a fair point. That's a fair point. Because, and to be honest, my other thought to this is, I mean, if Dom is and was trying to help Liv and try to cross Mommy, like, is he stupid? Like,
Yeah, well,
I mean, that would be
maybe
the wrong woman to cross there.
Yeah.
well, we got Hypocrisy Jones jumping in saying, yeah, he loves the setup, Lou. Yes, it's a fantastic setup. You can catch that all the time during the week. Lou goes live quite often. But back to the subject at hand. I think, and don't chastise me, don't get upset with me, people out there, but I think you guys are missing the mark and how good Rhea really is, because she's orchestrating this whole thing. And Dom is the puppet master of, like, he's the puppet of the puppet master. Like, this is the, if you ever watch the movies Puppet Master, there was always the favorite one. What was his name? Drill Hand or whatever. The guy, I forget his name. Anyways, so Puppet Master, you're going to control him, and Dom is the perfect one
He's
to
on the
do
strings.
that too. He is on the strings of Mommy. She wants Liv to have this title. Liv took her out. It doesn't matter if Becky has the title, because she's already proven she can squash the man herself.
Yep.
Rhea Ripley is China 2.0. And when I say that, I mean size, movesets are far beyond what China was doing. But at the time, you can't really fault China, because the movesets for women were limited. She was an inventor of her in her own era.
Mm-hmm.
But Rhea has taken the tall Amazon woman character and taken it to a level that most never thought was possible. You have grown men like us three cheering her on for a group of dominant men in the ring. These men that are in behind her are phenomenal people to have in a ring, and to have her be the leader or one of the leaders it speaks volumes to what she can do. And I see your guys' points on all of this and your ideas on all of it, but I really think that this is a subject and a matter in which it makes Judgment Day look that much more powerful, to be able to pull the strings while she is not even on camera.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's where I get from it. Everybody, you got one more round of a discussion of it. If you got anything left to say on this specific one, I mean, because tonight, from my understanding, they are going into a steel cage match with each other. I'm going to pull it up right now. But if you guys got anything to say, go ahead and.
I mean, I completely agree. I think, with Dom, I don't think he's smart enough to go against Rhea, and I think it's just a well thought out plan. Mommy wants Liv.
Yeah.
Liv hurt her. She took her out. She was on a dominant world champion run, and she ended that from attacking and putting her out. I think Mommy wants Dom to watch over Liv and make sure she is in the most perfect health. So when the time is right, when Mommy finally makes her return, and it looks like, oh, what is Dom doing? Why is he helping Liv? Dom's going to turn that dirty smile and here you go, Mommy. Look what I did for you.
All right.
I see it being perfect like that.
Grun, round us out on this one.
Yeah, the last comment I have on this is, thank God that Triple H is in control of creative, because this entire week, the entire last 7 days have been completely, everyone had we know exactly the direction they're going. Triple H says, nope, this is where we're going.
Yeah.
And then even when, okay, we know, nope, swerves again. Thank God. I love that it is far less predictable than it used to be.
Completely agree.
Grun, I think for our show, I mean, we hit you with it last week. We got to hit Triple H with it this week. And Triple H, you get the welcome to the household.
Look at me. I want you to fire me. You fucking mark. Fire me.
And Trips, you're a fucking mark because you make us happy with all these decisions you're making, and you keep grown men waiting in their basement. You're gonna.
Hey, it's a
fucking do
closet.
next.
It's not a basement.
And fair point. Lou. Some men have closets, some men have basements, some have garages. But I love what Grun you brought to, and I'm just gonna hit this point real quick. The fact that we have Trips at the wheel directing all of this, it speaks volumes to not only what he did in the ring, but what he was learning in the ring too. Also, as a fan and a competitor and learning the business, it's like I don't know, whiz kid that just was thrown into it, and he's like, sink or swim, kid, and he's like, I'm gonna swim, sir. I love Triple H.
Yeah.
Always have, always will.
We talked about kings. That's the top king right there.
Yeah. He really
King
is.
of Kings.
King of Kings. All right, so let's move on to the next one. And you know what, Grun? You're going to go next. So let me hit the fans with this battle. All right, Grun, why don't you hit us with that super kick of info that you got going on?
All right. So we had the semifinals for the Raw bracket for the women's Queen of the Ring tournament, where we had Io Sky taking on Lyra Valkyria, and the match was very much pretty balanced. You had Lyra using her grappling and her techniques with some striking to maintain control, while Io just tried to strike, hit hard, brute force. But she's the Queen of the Sky. We saw her go to the top rope a few times and hit a move, but she never could hit the over the moonsault. Lyra, but to the same point, Lyra Valkyria could never hit the Nightwing.
Well,
and
I like where you're at right there. So let's just play the clip before you go any further, because I think that sets it up perfectly for this. So, and we can talk on top of this. Okay, so here's the end of the match that Grun is talking about. That was such
Io with the last ride there.
Yeah. I mean, that one had some height to it and some power coming down.
Yeah, and you can see Io is going for the over the moonsault again.
I believe this was the second or third time.
This was the third attempt, I believe. Once again, Lyra dodges it. She's going for the Nightwing. Io fights out of it, but Lyra, with the ring intelligence, drops down and grabs her legs for the 1, 2, 3.
Very great finish.
Yeah, it was a great finish. So go ahead, Grun. Continue on to what you were saying about that match.
So the match, it showed what I said last week, that Damage Control are struggling when they're not working together.
Very true.
Io Sky is getting losses. Dakota Kai got losses. When they're not in each other's corners, they can't win. And to be fair, like, sure, when it's a group working together, yeah, you're a dangerous faction. But when the rest of the locker room knows, if they can get you separated, why won't they do that more often? You're not going, and especially if Adam Pearce is clearly doing this intentionally to make sure that these you'll lose. Like, hey, look, you're good. These are 3 great women. Io, Kairi, Asuka, Dakota. They're great competitors. But no one remembers them being great. Not at this point. No one can say that they're great at this point. Lyra Valkyria is showing that she is intelligent, showing that she is out to do what she can to learn, because right now, I can't see her winning titles right now. I can't see, only because she's got a smaller stature than Nia Jax.
I like it. Lou, do you have a take on what Grun's talking about with first Damage Control and this match?
Well, Damage Control, I would say there is one name that I would say is a dominant figure in the women's division when she was at her run, which was Asuka. Damage Control has a lot of great mix of, athletic women. I think from that match last week, you're just seeing the growth of the women's division, the back and forth athleticism. It just continues to grow each week. Lyra, who's I haven't seen much of from these last couple of weeks of seeing the Queen of the Ring tournament. She's great. And her and Io, they put on an amazing match. And I just love the growth of the women's division on both sides. It's been amazing. I would say since Bayley has knocked off Io, maybe Damage Control is in the funk where Judgment Day was until Damian cashed in, right? Maybe Damage Control, you're going to start seeing those pieces deteriorate a little bit from where they were, because you got dominant figures in Sane and Asuka. It's just not quite there for them right now. I'm gonna say you're gonna start seeing a little bit of a tear away from this group here soon.
That's a fair point, Grun. I mean, that kind of goes on to a lot of what you said last week with the possibilities of where it could go, and Damage Control. I mean, you kind of pointed it out, man. If you get them on one-on-one, you can kind of pick them apart, and that's really scary for a group. And even I know exactly where you're going, Lou, when you say you can say Asuka is the dominant one, but these past couple months, can you still say that about Asuka? I mean, it's become a bigger question in her career. And it seems more like this past year she relied on being a part of a group of women that she knew who were top-notch competitors, and
she got comfortable
back. Yeah, exactly. That's what she got comfortable. Exactly.
Asuka on her own is a dangerous woman. I think we can all agree to that. But I think since joining Damage Control and being with the group, she has gotten a little comfortable, and she hasn't been that killer Asuka that we've gotten to know over the years.
I agree on that one. Grun, do you have any thoughts on that with Asuka?
I do. If we ever get the Asuka that debuted in NXT and run roughshod over that entire division for what was it, 2 years?
Yeah.
2 years. Forget Zoe Starks, forget Ivy Nile, forget Maxine Dupree, forget Tiffany Stratton, forget Lyra Valkyria, forget anyone in if Asuka is ever able to get to that level again, there is no one that is going to stop her. Not even someone with the size of Nia Jax. And I would argue that Nia Jax only gets title shots because she has that size and weight advantage.
I love your boldness, Grun. So I have to give that the Ricky moment. If Asuka does come back,
what in the fuck are you dressed up like a bumblebee for? And what do you look like Indianapolis Jones?
It's gonna be that, because the Asuka that you're describing from NXT will destroy anybody coming up with a character, because she was basically the queen of strong style. Asuka to me is a symbol of the generation I grew up in, watching what they portrayed as the diva era and things like that, which had its importance, but it was focused on way too much that didn't need to be focused on.
Yeah.
And the bridging the gap, from when I don't know about you, Grun, or you, Lou, but when I was younger, I had to find VHS tapes of the Japanese wrestlers. And if I wanted to find a video, it took me 3 hours to download the damn thing, and 90% of the time it came with a virus, so I didn't do it too often. So you would have to find these bootlegs basically out of backs of magazines, and to see that now that you have the women's division stepping up to where it is, and where guys like, I can assume all three of us always wanted the women's division to be in. It really just makes me happy as a wrestling fan to see this, and the fact that we're discussing this on like a show where we only talk about 3 topics. Look, I don't want to toot my own horn with me and Grun.
2 of the women topics.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's not just this episode. A lot of the episodes, me and Grun, there's been 2 here, but he's been in the chat. We have long discussions about women's division and how great we think it is. So just check out this division in all the top brands, because they are all doing fantastic work, and it's really good storytelling. I mean, TNA women's division, my God, like they're masterful in what they're telling over there. So now, if you guys are ready, we'll kick into the last story from last week. And that one's going to be on me. I don't have a stinger because you already know me. You already come here. So, well, thank you. So, anyways, so what I wanted to talk about was the fantastic ending to Jey Uso's run in the King of the Ring tournament, and ultimately Gunther beating him in this match. This match was, for me, was Raw's highlight match of the night when it comes to pure wrestling, and it reminded me a lot of the old like Jimmy Snuka matches, where he was more of a high flyer, more of a highlight guy, going up against more of a technical wrestler, and just, sometimes those high flying moves don't get over, they don't land all the time, and you have a big German brute who's just willing to choke the hell out of you in the center of the ring and not let go until you finally lose consciousness. I mean, the match reminded me a lot of what made me love wrestling, and the tournament itself, especially Jey Uso's run, which here on In Your House, Sunday House Party, House talked about when Jey won his second match. House said whoever wins this match is going on to win the tournament, and it really did look like this was going to be Jey's year. I mean, Grun, you can step in if you think I'm off on that, but it really did. I mean, we had a lackluster match at WrestleMania, but he still had the momentum going into the next pay-per-view.
He had the crowd.
Yeah, he had the crowd. The crowd was still behind him. And as of recently, in the past few weeks, it's been noted that Jey Uso has pretty much taken over the Fireflies, and the Fireflies follow Uso now, and they do what he does. They interact with him like they did with Bray. Let's run this clip real quick, and then we will get into the discussion of this match and a little more into Jey Uso. So this was towards the end, and this was like beating after beating with both of these guys, because Jey Uso, I mean, you've seen him. He can wrestle. And then Gunther just
loses it.
Yeah, look at that. I mean, like a cobra, just wrapping himself.
In those moments, he gets so pissed when the other guy just won't quit.
He's such a fantastic technical wrestler. Go ahead, Grun. I know your mind's going.
Yeah, my mind's going, and my mind's ahead of where we are, but I'm just thinking, Gunther, if you miss King of the Ring, he is, and you have been listening, he's King of the Ring. Yeah. And if you missed the important part, Triple H announced that the winners of the King and the Queen of the Rings get title opportunities, world title opportunities at SummerSlam. Which means Gunther is going to fight either Damian Priest or Drew McIntyre at SummerSlam. And I don't know what I want to happen, because I want Gunther to be world champion at some point, but I'm scared of what this does for Damian or Drew. Specifically for Damian, because like, do you keep Drew losing and then you have Damian lose at SummerSlam, or do you have Damian beat Gunther and that's when Judgment Day gets back on the same page?
Lou, What do you think about that thought by our own Grunmeister here?
Well, I want to put to the side. I have a discussion for Jey Uso as well, but as far as Gunther being King of the Ring, I just find it very interesting, this World Championship circle we got in. Who would have thought losing a Seth Rollins and a CM Punk that our picture would be very full? You've got Gunther has the opportunity at SummerSlam coming up for winning King of the Ring, and you got a pissed off Drew eyeing for Damian Priest. And from what I've heard, they're going at it at Clash at the Castle for the title. They announced that at King of the Ring.
Yeah.
So is this Damian's run where he runs through Drew and Gunther this summer and establishes himself as the top brands champion? Or do you get a slip up with Damian? Is there going to be some dysfunction between him and Finn still as far as his protection? Like where do we go with that? I really like Drew. Obviously, he's a heel, but he's a fan favorite at heart, right? It's going to be an interesting battle, because is he going to lose in front of his people to Damian at Clash of the Castle? And then Gunther, I mean, would it be shocking to see Damian Priest run through both these men this summer and lead himself down the road to the Rumble, to the Mania, to set himself for a main event picture there? I
love where you're going. And if you do put Drew in the losing column coming up at the Castle, that's his second time he's lost in front of his home crowd. And the way they're telling stories now seems more long term. So if you were going to take Drew McIntyre and keep him on the main roster, but kind of put that progression a few years out, you're building all of that to where his title run during the lockdown era was like crickets. I mean, and I'm just being honest, I don't like that it was like that, because he is Drew McIntyre. When you put the title on him, you want to do that and have
been a big special moment.
Exactly. And it should have been in front of live crowds, because that's how you get Drew McIntyre. You get the best of Drew McIntyre. With that being said, it really, really makes me wonder if they're going to really tell this story that far out, because yes, you could build story on that, but there's that case that somebody could get injured. You have the CM Punk story to rely on, and we know once CM Punk's ready, they're going to go full blown on that storyline, and it's going to be epic. It's probably going to get me to like CM Punk again, and I hate to say that, but it will. So
I almost wore my Punk shirt for you. Almost did it.
Dude, I wore my the dog collar match of his t-shirt to work last Friday, and one of the guys who watched the show, he goes, "Wait a minute, I thought you hated CM Punk." I was like, "Yeah, but it came in a box. I could wear this." But I want to touch on what you were going to allude to with Jey Uso there, Lou, because I love a good Jey Uso talk.
I mean, I think we all love Jey Uso. I mean, yeah, exactly. And I said it yesterday in chat in your house, while you guys were talking about King of the Ring, and I think it just sucks to see Jey. He's got the crowd, he's got the merch. I have a Yeet shirt. I almost wore that one. It was between this Punk and Yeet. Jey Uso, he's doing great things. But he keeps coming up short, and I think you want to see guys like Uso and LA Knight, and you just want to see them get that opportunity, and they just keep falling short. I want to see these guys that have the momentum behind them, get. I'm not saying they got to hold the world belt, but they gotta be put somewhere, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I see where you're going with that. Grun, you got any thoughts on that one?
I mean, I think Lou makes a really good point. Like, we want to see LA Knight, we want to see Jey Uso, we want to see Cameron Grimes, See these guys that may have been mid carders in some fashion. People, or in Jey Uso's case, an elite of the elite of tag team wrestling. When we see them do single matches, we see them, they're great. They can work the crowd. They can do everything people like Seth Rollins, CM Punk can do, and almost just as good. So why not give them those bigger opportunities? But it is a question of, is it a flash in the pan? Can they do more with it when they get those big opportunities? With LA Knight, I think he's cooling off. I think he's losing it.
I'd have to agree. I'd have to agree.
And it's like, you know what? Like, it happens. It's you can feel it. It's happened with Cody Rhodes, but he still is maintaining a good amount of fan love. And I think he knows when to flip the switch, we'll say, when that time comes. But Jey Uso, I think you can put the Intercontinental title on him. I think you can definitely build a great story where it's Sammy versus Jey for the Intercontinental Championship. And who knows? It might be SummerSlam. It might not be. They might still go with Sammy and Chad Gable.
I mean, Gable's another name.
Yeah.
Gable's in that hat too. I just hate to seeing these guys with the momentum because, obviously, we saw back years ago with Daniel Bryan and the momentum he gained and how it finally got him into that picture that we all as fans thought he deserved. Now, obviously, injuries got in the way over the years near the end there. And, you can't help that part. But I hate seeing, guys like Jay, guys like LA Knight that have the crowd rocking. Like, it is rocking when Jay, I know the backlash was in France, but still, when Jay comes out, it's a show. Like Joseph, you said, the lights, everything about Jay coming out is a spectacular show.
It's main event.
Why is he not getting that push that I feel he deserves? I mean, maybe some people think he doesn't. That's okay, but
your push is determined on titles and big wins, correct?
Right.
Think about this though. Jey Uso for the past few years has been involved in one of the, if not the biggest storylines of professional wrestling. So much so that he has slowly started drifting away from it and setting his own path and still connecting with that story. Yes, would it be fantastic to I wanted to see him win King of the Ring. I thought this would have been a great year to have him do that and then have the rematch of him and his brother at WrestleMania, but actually one of them having a title, because having a title in a match like that they have been planning out since they were 4, that's needed, you dipshits. That's my biggest hate that they did. Those guys talked about it in so many documentaries. They talked about it when they were children, but it was for a title. That was a here you go, kid. Thanks for putting up with the shit and letting The Rock come back and take away everybody's flame, just like I said it would. I said having The Rock come back and being in the bloodline is going to kill LA Knight's momentum. Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
Look where he's at now. Where is his momentum? It's gone. People are still waiting for The Rock to come back because, well, I got up at 3:00 in the morning and, I decided I'm going to WWE. Let's go. Come on, everybody. No, come on, dude. Just be you outside of this. Be you. That's great. Give me LA Knight. LA Knight would have been fantastic to see with maybe a championship, maybe in a title run, maybe him going against, I don't know, Drew McIntyre. Come on.
Or Seth.
Or Seth. Tell me no one wants to. Who doesn't want to see those matches?
Take my money.
All these money, could be great matches.
So I'm sorry for my rant on this, but I'm agreeing with you. I need Jey Uso to be doing something more. I love where he's at now. I do.
Don't get me wrong. I understand it sounded more like a world title push, but And I know Gunther, he's the guy, right? When it comes to physicality, being an attraction, his run with the Intercontinental Championship was fantastic. But to your point, if there was a spot to give Jay, here's a reward, son, for all the hard work and the momentum you've had, why not put the crown on him and not give him a title shot against a Damian? I mean, I know he had Damian or a Drew, or later down the line, you do that Jay Gunther rematch for the belt. I just think like to your point, the LA Knights, the Jey Usos, the momentums, they're only there for so long. The crowd is hot for it. Why can't we get more of it?
100% agree with you on that. Grun, do you have any thoughts on this one?
I not really. I mean, I'm definitely looking forward to Gunther being world champion. I just don't know if I want to see him do it now or later, because I am very concerned as to what this does to Damian and where does this put him if he loses, because I am on the fence right now as to whether or not he belongs in the main event scene. I know he's good. I know he's good on the mic. I know he's good in the ring. But now I'm worried, is he only good enough for 15 minutes of fame?
Well, I remember me a few months back in one of the chats discussing how I didn't understand Damian Priest. And Grun, you actually were the one who pointed out specific matches for me to watch of his and like things that he's done. So I checked him out, and I did become a Damian Priest fan. And then exactly what was alluded to, what they were going to do with him, they did, and I like it. I like the product they're doing. I'm in the same boat with you, Grun. I want Gunther to be the champ, but I don't know if I want it now, because I like Damian Priest there, and Damian Priest has worked his ass off to get to that point, and it's well deserved, and he should stay there, because this run is keeping me drawn in. And if you're making me money, I'm gonna keep you where you're at.
Yeah.
Why would I change it? Oh, I don't like money anymore. Come on, go away. Like it's insane. It's insane.
I think it's a good change of pace from where we were with Seth, and leading into a Punk, situation. And that's why I said earlier, I like the guys involved in this. You got a Drew, you got a Damian, you got a Gunther now. The men that are involved in this title picture, it looks really good. It's just a factor of, is Damian going to continue to run through these guys, and you set him up to be that top champion?
I love this discussion. This is a good one. Real quick, let's give our thoughts on King of the Ring. What you guys liked about it. Any highlights you wanted to take away from it?
I think one of the big highlights is actually from the Cody Rhodes Logan Paul match, with the drone circling and just seeing that the videography, the cinematography, the production looks so much better to watch on TV.
The concept is like really put together. Like, it's easy to follow and digest. I agree with you on that one. And that was a huge highlight. I'm pretty sure you said something about it in the chat last night. Maybe. When we were watching. I know there was a discussion about it, but yeah, that was a great one. Lou, any thoughts on King of the Ring?
Well, I thought it was a good show. I don't think it was a great show. Obviously, Cody and Paul, they did their thing. That was a great match. Hate him or love him, Logan Paul, he continues to show why they put him in these spots. I mean, the guy has been phenomenal in the ring. It's been really good. I'd say the other big match was Sammy and Gable and Bronson. To be honest with you, I'm so happy to see Bronson Reed get that spot that he's worked his ass off for. I know he's gone through a lot with WWE, but I remember seeing him in NXT, and now that he's on the main roster, that was an awesome spot for him to be involved in, with that Sammy and Gable. 100%. Breaks that up a little bit, so that way we can lead into a bigger one-on-one with Sammy and Gable, I feel, down the line. But I I give a huge shout out to Bronson on that match. He looked phenomenal in that match. Overall, though, I thought the show was okay. I would have been excited about Randy versus Gunther if it was 10 years ago, Randy. I always worry about Randy Orton and his health. I would have thought after WrestleMania he was going to take some time off. The man looks like he's just one backdrop away from being put out. But I mean, the guys went. Gunther, was a good match, but I think I would have been more excited for it if it was 10 years ago, Randy Orton, instead of now. But overall, good show. It's hard to come off of a show where you had France going nuts.
Yeah.
At Backlash, and then you lead to King of the Ring. Like they're going to look different, but it was a good show. It was a good show.
No, I'll agree with you on that one. They were definitely highlights. There was a few lowlights, but overall, it was a good show. I really think the King of the Ring, with Gunther being crowned, we kind of expected that once you've seen the dominance he's had for forever. But at the end of the day, you also could kind of expect the Queen of the Ring. And we'll touch on Nia Jax real quick before we head out. Raw is about to start in 10 minutes from now. So Nia Jax wins Queen of the Ring and does it in thunderous fashion. I didn't know someone could survive that fall.
That looked brutal.
There was a moment I really thought, because of it hitting her maybe in the ribs, but then when you watch it, it looks like more of the impact was on the stomach area. But even Nia kind of looked like, oh my God, is she okay? But
we were all like, is she gonna start breathing? Pan to her, make sure she's breathing. And you can see her huffing. I was like, okay, she's good.
But aside from that, that amazing ending, that was a fantastic match for Lyra. I will liken with Lou. I haven't seen much of Lyra except for this tournament, and she does great work. Fantastic match. We finally get Nia Jax as Queen of the Ring, and she's made it very clear and loudly clear that she is going to be coming and getting her title. So what are your guys' quick thoughts on our newly crowned Queen of the Ring?
Well, I guess, you know what, she won, and two very her wins against Jade and Bianca were not very clean, to say the least.
No,
Jade getting herself disqualified, and then Bianca being injured already, and whatever. And I think it's good for Nia. I know that the locker room does feel more confident in her ability, which is really the opinion that matters the most. If the women that are going to be taking bumps from her are confident in her ability, then that's the only thing that matters.
Well, that's a great point, Grun.
Yeah.
Great point.
Yeah, because I would say that I've never been the biggest Nia fan. I think a lot of that has stemmed from what you're touching on, Grun, is, she was hurting a lot of the women. It wasn't very clean wrestling. And, I think her time she had left, she cleared her mind. I think she's just come back and she's worked her ass off. And she's really been putting in the time to, not only look better in the ring, but take care of the people that are in the ring with her. And I think you're seeing that. And I give her a huge shout out. It's awesome to see, her and Triple H have that moment in the ring when she was getting crowned. She's worked for it. She's deserved it. And, she's a dominant figure in the women's division. Let's see where that run goes for her and see where SummerSlam takes her. Who's going to be lined up in her way.
I like it. I like where everybody's mind's at with this one. I agree. The only separate I have on this is I have been a Nia fan. I know that there were some injuries that happened. Her hand was involved in it because she was the other person in the ring, which which happens. And it is good though that she got the ability to learn and figure it out and come back and be a safe competitor and someone the rest of the division can rely on. So with that being said, I think this was a great review. Lou, thank you for coming on. And I will make this right before we give you your chance, Lou. That match is a steel cage match. I looked it up.
There we go. That's big.
WWE is putting it out there. So it is.
That's going to be a fun.
Yeah, that is going to be a great one. I can't wait for that one. So check that out. Lou, let the fans know where they can find you one last time. And then Grunmeister, you hit the fans with where they can find you.
I'm practicing my Jones point there. Jones, I got you, bro. It is right. Follow me, twitch.tv/thelou_. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. We do a lot of good variety gaming over there. A lot of funny interactions. Mondays, we have a guest on. I will be going live at 9:00 tonight, Eastern time, with my guest, Misfit. We'll be playing some football. And every Monday, we have a guest on. They pick the game. We have a good time, good laughs. Wednesday, my alter ego gets involved. Lou versus Dave Dingle. Yes, I said Dingle. We go at it in a 1v1 competition in a game. And Fridays, we just get ready for the weekend and have some fun. We got a FUF reunion this Friday with a lot of community games coming up between me and Misfit. We used to run a show together called Fucked Up Fuckfest Fridays. Yes, I said that. FUF is back for a one-night stand this Friday. So come check us out, man. We do a lot of fun things over there, and I think you'll love the vibes. The vibes are always there. So come on and hang out. Come hang out.
All right,
all right. You can catch me at twitch.tv/Grunmeister, as it's spelled right here.
Get the point
here.
There.
Yeah. I'm mainly variety streamer, play a lot of different games. Gonna be playing more Call of Duty Warzone. New season's coming up starting this Wednesday, I believe. And the Car 98K is back in Warzone with this new update. Yeah. The Car 98K is officially returning to Warzone.
I'm gonna join you, Grun.
Yes.
Wow. Well, it sounds like my friends have some things to be doing and watching and blowing up. So I'm excited for it. You should be excited for it. You know me. It is I, Joshua Joseph, the voice, and I'm here in your house where I belong, where I live, where I breathe, where they water me and I grow. So come join us. Come join us for our Sunday in your house party where we just have a house party and you can come in, talk shit, have some fun, just clean up, make sure not to eat all my friends' chips. They like them. I don't. I have too much flavor. It's a weird thing. But then check out Alakan the House. Check him out in his solo shot because House is doing an amazing thing. He is the concept. He is the one who brings all of this together and gives us a platform to entertain you all out there. So join him. Join Jones when he does another debonged. Those have been fun. And join me here with Grunmeister every week where we cover the Monday night review. Everything that happened from last week that entertains us, we're going to talk to you about it. So come join us. Come have fun. Go hang out with Lou tonight. Go hang out with Grunmeister when he goes live. Go hang out with In Your House. Go hang out with all my friends. And enjoy your night. Enjoy your weekend. Well, what's left of it, or next weekend, because we are out.